Hi, my name is Brock Keith, and I am a student here at Edison Community College. The presentation here today is really the goal of this is to hopefully get you some information as a student and as a viewer so that you can go off and make some decisions on which industry that you want to get into as you move away from college and hopefully get into a career. I'm going to talk about the banking industry and Unity National Bank specifically, and I did send you a link. You should have that so that you can go in and follow along with the slides with me. As I change slides, I'm going to let you know so that you can choose change as well and hopefully stay on track here. So let's go ahead and switch slides here. Okay, we're in the overview section now, and we're going to talk tonight about location, history, the community-oriented feel of Unity Bank, and then really the future of not only Unity Bank itself, but also the banking industry in general, because if you are going to get into that industry, there are some things that you want to be aware of. Let's go ahead and switch slides. Okay, Unity Bank itself, there are 5 locations in Miami County. The bank itself is only in Miami County, but it does have some different affiliations we're going to talk about in just a second. Unity Bank has about 50 employees locally. The nice thing is that it is a local bank. They've got their own local board here. They have their own local president, so they can make decisions locally without having to go outside of that. But in the case of any kind of large commercial customers, or if they need a larger loan or different things, they can go to Park National Bank, which is they're actually a division of, and that's almost considered their big daddy, if you want to call it that, where they can go and get larger loans. Park National Bank is a much larger bank than Unity itself. It has about $7 billion in assets, so it is one of the larger banks in Ohio outside of the regionals, and it's based out of Newark, Ohio, kind of east of Columbus. So let's go ahead and switch slides. Unity itself has actually 125 years in the community, which is a long time for any industry any company to be going. So we're pretty excited about that. Third Savings was what it was called before. Sam Heitzman was one of the founders and really considered the grandfather of Unity National Bank. Unity National Bank came into existence, as you can see, in the 80s and has gone from there and grown into what it is today. You can see some of the officers there of the current Unity Bank. Okay, go ahead and switch slides. As we've talked about a little bit, it is a community bank. They're very oriented on that. Since they're a smaller bank in the area, when you compare them to the Chases and the Fifth Thirds and some of the larger regionals, they really have to get into that small niche so that they can compete with that. Unity in the Community is a program that they've got going that they've done for several years now, where they literally take every employee that they've got, which is pretty neat, and shoot them out to different organizations. They go to nonprofits, they go to Bruckner, they go to Chamber of Commerce, and do a lot of different things in the community and really just try to make an impact on the community. Not only does that help with their marketing, but it helps the kind of surrounding society as well. So it's really a win-win for them and the community. They're heavily involved. They allow all of their officers to go out and be involved in Chamber of Commerce boards and even city government and different things. So it gets the name out there, but they really try to give back to the area, and which makes it pretty nice. So you get a good feel when you're able to work there. So makes it good. Donations of time and money. They give a lot of time and money to all kinds of different organizations. You're going to see them in the bed races at the Strawberry Festival, which you don't see too many banks out there. You're going to see them out pulling weeds. You're going to see a lot of the Unity employees out doing a lot of good things in the community, sponsoring Salvation Army families for Christmas, and a pretty neat organization in that way. Let's go ahead and switch slides. The future of Unity Bank is tied pretty heavily, obviously, to the industry, and there are some big changes coming in the industry. So if you're going to be getting into this as a career, you are going to have to be prepared and be ready to deal with a lot of different changes that are happening. One of the big things that you're going to have to deal with in the banking industry is the heavy competition. So just for an example, in Troy, we've got about 25,000 people. Well, the last count through the Chamber of Commerce here in Troy, there were 26 branches of different banks within Troy itself. So you're talking 26 branches for 25,000 people. That's about 1,000 people for every branch, or really one branch for every 1,000 people. So a lot of competition in banking in general, and specifically around in the Miami-Dade area. Major changes due to government compliance. Over the last several years, Dodd-Frank Act has hit in multiple different waves, where it's just really tied a lot of what banks used to be able to do up in compliance and fair lending laws and all these different things. Some of it has been effective and required and really did, there were some things that needed to happen after the 2008 blow up. But a lot of it is a little bit of overkill, is the popular opinion out there, and hopefully that pendulum will swing back and it'll be able to do business as usual with a little bit of those hopefully easing up. So be ready for compliance if you're getting into banking. Troy Walmart closure. The Unity Bank had a bank in Troy Walmart. There were some different negotiations that went back and forth with Walmart. Didn't end up working out, so that branch was closed in the beginning of 2014. So they're down to one branch in Troy. So there is some, obviously, competition going there. A little bit of market share loss along with that as well. And the banking industry in general is going through major changes. Obviously, you know, as a person that's going out and looking into getting into a career, your goal as an employee is always going to be paid as much as possible. That's, you know, so that you can provide for your family and do all the different things and create a lifestyle for yourself. Well, like many organizations, banks, their biggest expense is employee salary. So their goal is to push down salary as much as they can and really just pay the employees as little as possible in order to keep them there, or as little as it takes to keep them there and happy and productive. So there's always that kind of clash that you're going to deal with in most industries, as long and in banking as well. What they've done is they're trying to figure out a way to keep the amount of employees down for that purpose. So you're going to run tight usually on the teller lines, and in lending and all the different departments, they're going to try to run it as tight as possible. And really, some banks are talking about in the future, maybe not too distant, that they're going to be going to kiosk-style banks where you walk in and it's almost like a checkout line at the Walmart or Myers where it's a self-checkout. So maybe you walk into a branch, there's 6 kiosks and 1 teller walking around to help with any issues. But it's going to be going to something like that. Obviously, online banking, the apps, all the mobile online bill pays and all these different things are making it much easier for people to do banking without actually walking into a branch. So you as a student and somebody that's looking to go into the future and do banking maybe as a lifelong career, just be aware that there's always going to be that constant reduction of employee workforce in order to save money is really what it's about. So hopefully that gave you at least a little snippet of information about the banking industry and Unity Bank specifically, so that you can go out and really do a lot more research within that if it is something that maybe piqued your interest a little bit. Hopefully that gave you enough to do that, and I hope everybody has a great night. Thank you.